Hi, I'm Colton with Porsche Center Calgary, and here today with a very special piece of pre-owned inventory. This one is a 2022 911 GT3 Touring. Probably my favorite car that Porsche has made in a number of years. I think the Touring is absolutely, I don't even know what the right word is for it, but it's very special. It's very exciting, and I'll tell you a little bit about the car in general, and then we'll dive into this particular example, which is also just kind of by itself very special. So in general, the GT3 Touring, most of you probably know what a GT3 is. It's kind of, the more racy, performance-focused variant of the 911. They don't build these every year. Every few years, we get production of them for a year or two. We did get a couple of years of 992 production GT3, which is what this one is, but it is now out of production. They're not building this anymore, so we won't see another GT3 for a little while. They're building the GT3 RS, and then that'll go away, and then eventually we'll see a 992.2 GT3, but for the time being, they can't be ordered, so this is a unique opportunity to get your hands on one. The Touring is a little bit different. So the GT3 has been around for a number of years and a number of generations, and kind of, as part of that iconic image of a GT3, most people associate the usually quite large rear wing. With the Touring, it's a little bit more subtle. They delete that rear wing, and it's those who understand and know what it is, it's immediately visible. It still has a lot of, performance cues. You can tell that it's a very special 911. It's just not quite as obvious as the wing, and to the untrained eye, it might just kind of blend in a little bit more. Personally, I like that. I think with a lot of our customers, you buy the car for yourself more so than for, the rest of the world to draw all that attention. So if you're that type of person, but want all the performance that a GT3 is going to give you, that's where the Touring comes in, right? Some people might use the word sleeper. It's less obvious, but all the performance is there. This is one that, to me, if you want all that performance without all the show, and without some of the, frankly, the sacrifices that you would make to drive a GT3. This is where you want to go. But you're still getting that 4-liter flat six that makes tremendous noises. You're getting much of the same weight savings and performance, just in a little bit of a more subtle and I think more elegant package. So let's talk about this one in particular, because it is quite special. Starting with the outside, this is agate gray metallic, lovely color. I think it has a little bit of kind of a brown hue to it, depending the light it's in. Been around for a bit, but still looks awesome. And then these wheels are the standard GT3 wheels. They're 21 inches in the rear, 20 inches up front. This one has them finished in the satin black with the guards red ring around, which is, I think, great. Adds just that little splash of color on the outside, which we see repeated quite a bit on the inside, which I'll get to in a couple of minutes. But focusing still on the outside, up front, you'll see the tinted matrix LED headlights. So they're the top level, most advanced headlights available on the car. Tinted black to kind of suit, black wheels, a little bit of a darker kind of aesthetic with this one. And then there's a few carbon elements outside as well as some inside, which again we'll get to in a second. But starting with the mirror base right beside me here, the base is painted, but the mirror cap on top here, this is all carbon fiber. You also see, or maybe you can't see, the roof is carbon fiber, not just, a carbon wrap or carbon visually, but it is a carbon fiber roof. So of course that gives you a little bit of weight savings, and significantly weight savings high up in the car, lowering the overall center of gravity and improving that performance a little bit further. And then going around to the back, the taillights on this one are the exclusive design taillights. So they're darker, they don't have the red element, they're just kind of a clear taillight that again suit the dark kind of color theme with this one. Outside, I think that's most of the stuff I wanted to touch on. One small thing you can't see is the exclusive fuel filler cap, which I do think is significant, rather than just having a basic black plastic fuel filler cap. This one's a little bit, again, more elegant looking, feels a little bit more premium when you are filling it up, and something that's subtle, but you do interact with it physically on a regular basis. So I think it's something that's worth spending some money on. Actually, another point before we move inside, and some nice value on a pre-owned vehicle, is this whole car is wrapped in paint protection film. So not just the front end, which is quite common, but in fact the whole car is wrapped in film. So you don't have to worry about actually getting it out there on the roads and getting some rock chips. It has that sacrificial layer, so the paint should be well protected. But now let's move on to the inside, because that too really stands out with this car and is quite quite nice. So you have the full leather interior, but beyond that, this is actually the exclusive interior. Now, the build sheet, it may be a little bit confusing because it'll show exclusive two-tone interior, which it isn't. It's an all black interior. The way that package worked is the upper part of the car was always going to be black, the upper part of the interior, and then you can choose from a selection of different colors for the kind of the lower part. With this vehicle, it was just selected to be black and black, so it presents as a single tone, but gives you that exclusive interior where you have leather coverage in a few extra places. And then they did the full contrasting stitch in guards red. So you're picking up again on the red ring around the wheels, and then keeping the standard steel brakes. So you have the red brake caliper as well. So you have stitching throughout the seats, on the dash, even on the a part of that extended leather package where you have leather all around the Sport Chrono dial on top, which is an option this one was selected with, having that chrono dial, not standard on these cars. That has contrasting stitch even when you open the door. The end of the dashboard, that's leather wrapped with the red contrast stitch. The inside of the steering wheel, you have a leather steering column in this one with the red stitch. Just really, really nice. To me, it completes it so well. A couple of red elements, the car still looks dark, subtle, but you can obviously see that performance, but it's just not entirely, bland and monochrome either. You have that splash of color that I think presents very, very well. And then I mentioned picking up on some of the carbon fiber on the outside, on the inside. So the trim in this car is a matte carbon fiber, the trim portion being, the strip on the doors, and then continuing onto the dash and the other door, but then also extending that further. This one has the GT Sport steering wheel in carbon fiber, which on these cars means the spokes, the 3 spokes of the steering wheel, are carbon fiber, not the actual ring of the steering wheel, which is still wrapped in leather, which would be my preference. I think it ages a little bit better. And then the door sills too are carbon fiber and illuminated. They're the bespoke door sills. So rather than saying, GT3 on them, this one was selected to have the silhouette of the car, which I think looks lovely. Some other stuff inside that I wanted to talk about. Let's get into some of the content rather than just the aesthetics. So significantly, this one has the front axle lift. This is the more subtle version of the GT3, but it still is very, very low. So if you are using it on a regular basis, you have that button where you can raise the front end. So if you've got a steep driveway that you're pulling into, or different parking lots, speed bumps, that kind of thing, you can just hit that button and very quickly and easily raise the front end, so you're not scraping it. I mentioned the Chrono packages here, the sound upgrade too. It has the Bose audio package, and I guess a couple of other aesthetic things I'll touch on. The Race Tex, that synthetic suede, formerly known as Alcantara. That's material we used to use. Now it's Race Tex, but it's largely the same thing. The headliner is entirely Race Tex in this example, and so is the sun visors, which is something a lot of people overlook, thinking the headliner kind of gets you the whole thing. It doesn't. Your visors would be vinyl. Here they were selected to be Race Tex as well, to match the rest of the headliner, which I think is a must. And then in fact, when you go with this exclusive leather interior, it also gives you the Race Tex on the seatbelt outlet trim. So even that little piece of what would be plastic where the seatbelt comes out, that's Race Tex here too. So that's part of why I love this particular example so much, is all those little details were paid attention to. There was nothing that was overlooked here. It's really, really, really well put together, but sadly not very well used. It only has about 360 kilometers, so almost a brand new vehicle. So if you are looking for one, you can't get a new one anymore, but you can get this one, which is exceptionally well put together and barely used at all. However, it is used. It's been on the road for a little while, so it is now a Porsche approved certified pre-owned vehicle. It'll come with a warranty extension as part of that. You would have 40 years or 80,000 kilometers on a brand new car. This one that gets extended to 6 years and unlimited kilometers. Warranty start date being August of 2022. So lots and lots of warranty coverage, another nice kind of added bonus when you purchase the vehicle from us. And we just performed its first oil change as part of that as well. So you wouldn't have to visit our service shop for about a year either. There's lots and lots more to say about this car. It is a really, really exceptional example, but for now, I'll stop there. If you're interested, if you want to learn more, please give us a call or come down and pay us a visit. It will be on display in our showroom very soon. Thanks so much for watching.